The Golf Biz with Mikey D, Drew, and the crew. Management, marketing, myths, and morons. Hope we make you smile.
Welcome to the Golf Biz. I'm Joe Dahlstrom with Mikey D, Drew, and the crew, where our one and only goal is to make you smile as we share our stories of owning, operating, and marketing golf courses all over the country. Welcome, Drew. Welcome, Mikey D.
Glad to be here.
Thanks, Joe.
Good. An amazing episode today, one that's much different than our ones in the past. And we have two very, very special guests, part of the Paradigm fam. We have Janai Porman. Welcome, Janai.
Hello.
We have Ryan Barmore. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so today's episode, forewarning, it might be a little emotional, but the title of it is Golf More Than a Game, A Path to a World of Opportunity. And really the theme of this show is really just to be a tribute to all of our parents that are on the show today, but also all the many of the other parents and the people that had the commitment and the dedication and the sacrifice to introduce the game of golf to them. So really a special episode. Golf is something that I think that is really overlooked. I think that I know I can speak personally that, I maybe underestimated it and didn't always show the gratitude for what it opened up for me. So, at Dobson and within our organization, we have the Pops and Junior Youth Golf Program, which we're going to be starting. But today's episode is really just going to be to share our stories. And like I said, I'm so glad to have Janai and Ryan here, Mikey and myself, and all of us have unique stories, even you, Drew. So, Janai, we're going to start with you. You joined the crew at Dobson about, 6-7 months ago?
Not even, probably like 4 months ago.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been so awesome, it seems a little longer. But, your two sisters work there, Jacqueline and Elle. They're both all-stars. Yep. They're both wonderful. And
you're one of the three Twisted Sisters.
The Twisted Sisters, absolutely.
I think you're the only one that likes the nickname.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I own that.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And, when we talked about doing the show today, Mikey and I lost our father about a few weeks ago, and Ryan, I know a little over a month for you, and we talked a lot about doing some giving back to the community and actually using golf as a way to introduce the kids. And so now you're going to head up the Pops and Junior Youth Golf Program. And the main reason, one, not only do you have an amazing smile, a great attitude, but you shared your story, and it's quite amazing. It runs very parallel to this show and what the program is. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your story?
Sounds good. Awesome. So like Joe said, I have two other sisters, so I'm the middle child. And when we were probably when I was about 8, my mom started going out to the driving range a lot. And so we would kind of go out there with her and follow along. And eventually she got us some clubs and we were able to kind of start golfing with her. And it was fun because most people have the golf dad and we had the golf mom, which was pretty cool. So she was awesome. And so we would go out there and go to the driving range and hit balls with her, and we all kind of fell in love with the game of golf. And so she saw that in us and she wanted to be able to let us pursue that more. So she got us professional lessons and we entered tournaments and did all that kind of stuff in junior golf, which was really awesome. Even when we went to high school, she chose a high school that was much farther from our home because she liked the golf coach the most, because he was the most invested in wanting to help us grow. So it was really awesome. And then, so she was at every lesson that we went to. She took us absolutely everywhere, and I can't say how thankful I am for that. She was the parent that was always there on the fairway. You're looking back and she's walking down the fairway with you. So it was always fun to see her there. In 2013, my mom was diagnosed with colon cancer. And then a few months later, she unexpectedly passed away. And so that was really hard. Most people that lose their parents at any age, it's painful to go through. And if I didn't have the game of golf to feel like I was connected to her still, I don't honestly know where I'd be today. So when I would still go out and golf after that, it was a little bit hard to get back on the golf course at first, but I felt like she was still with me, and that was something that I held very close to my heart. And I still, to this day, when I'm out at Dobson Ranch, brings a smile to my face because I feel like she's with me and it feels like I'm connected to her.
Yeah.
And I know that my sisters feel the same way, and that's why golf holds such a special place in our heart, because she brought us to that. But also it's taught me so many amazing lessons and things that I carry with me to this day, and I hope that my kids eventually one day want to play golf too, or they'll be forced to.
Absolutely. Yeah, no.
They're not getting a choice.
Absolutely. Your mom sounds like an amazing person, and it's really like you said about bringing you closer. And it's not just about playing, but you said it actually fills a void in you. And both of your sisters are now in the golf business, right? And, your sister Jacqueline is an amazing player. She was by far the A player on our third in our Pro-Am. She was awesome.
6
and
birdies.
then, the youngest, Elle, is a complete sweetheart. So your mom obviously was an amazing person, too, to create such beautiful daughters. So, and... tell us about some of the moments, like, when you would go out and play with your sisters, who won, who lost, and what was the attitude amongst all the dream foursome, the 3 girls and your mom?
Okay. So to give a little bit of a background, I was the kid that never wanted to practice. So I hated going to the driving range. It was like, I'll go to lessons. Eventually they stopped letting me take lessons because I wasn't practicing. But so my 2 sisters were obviously pretty competitive. They always practice. They put in the work. But then we'd go out to a tournament or something and we'd all shoot the same thing. And they hated me for it. Don't tell them this. But my mom was told by our golf coaches that I had the most natural golf swing of all 3 of us.
There you go.
But I still don't practice, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't have to, right?
Exactly.
No, but we'd all go out, or sometimes we do like the Girls Golf Association of Arizona would do like the Mother's Day tournaments. Those were the most fun because you got to play like with your mom. So they'd let like all 3 of us play with her, and it was just so much fun to be out there because we all had a blast. We're all very competitive people though too, so it was a lot of cool. But my mom loved playing golf on her own too because she even belonged to the ladies league at Lone Tree.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so Lone Tree holds like a special place in my heart too, a little bit. So yeah,
you can love it too. It's okay.
I know Dobson range comes first. But yeah, so it was always a lot of fun to be out there with all of them because it was all of us. That's how we like bonded. That's how we got closer to each other, and we all shared that love for it. And so then when she was gone, it was nice for us to be able to be with each other to play golf. So, yeah.
And it's really amazing, too, that you all work within the golf business. Because I remember when Jacqueline came in to interview, she would come out and she'd hit balls. She had an amazing smile and a great attitude. And I remember when she interviewed, right, she went to school to become a massage therapist, which I understand. And I made the prediction that she was going to be one of our best managers and stay in the golf business. And it's looking pretty good, right, Drew?
Yeah, so far. No, I mean, she's been amazing. It's funny, we've talked about it before on the show, but, Janai had the same thing when she was there, and Jacqueline just continues to do it day after day, but she just takes such a genuine interest to all the people that come to Dobson, and everybody knows her. And even when I'm working there on a day where she's normally there, it's not, hey, Andrew, it's where's Jacqueline? Everyone's defensive of her now. It's amazing to see just how many people that she's touched without probably even realizing it,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, too, that Elle is beloved by the customers and the staff. Jacqueline is, and you are, too, and that's part of the reason we're going to have you head up the youth program. But how much, I know it was your mother's influence that you turned out to be wonderful young ladies, but I think golf contributes to that too, right? Because you learn a lot in golf when you compete and play at any level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, golf above everything teaches you so much integrity because you have to stay true and be honest with your score, with your shots. I mean, not everybody's watching you all the time when you're on the course, especially when you're playing in tournaments. So that, but also you get to meet so many amazing people. And I'm so grateful because golf brought us a lot of wonderful people in our lives that I am so grateful for. And a lot of them we're actually still close to this day, which is really nice to know that you still have like, family's not always blood, and some of those people are family to us,
Yeah, absolutely.
And so being able to carry that with us, and then almost in a way, golf is teamwork. You are playing with other people. You have to learn how to interact with them, and you have to have manners and pulling the flag stick, and it teaches you a lot. And I'm so grateful for that because I don't know that I'd be as well-mannered. I mean, I think my parents did a good job, but I think I'd maybe not
totally
be as well-mannered if I hadn't
Wait
had
till you
that.
get to Mike and I's story. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about that.
Yeah, it's funny too because we have Jim Angus too, who's worked with us at Dobson for a while, and Jim actually used to work, for Paradigm back at Western Skies as well, which is one of the courses. I know at least Jacqueline, you guys all grew up there, so I just thought that was hilarious. When Jim came. And started working for us, and Jacqueline had already been there for a few months, and he did a double take when he walked in, couldn't believe it. And he was telling me, man, her and her sisters were at the range every single night. They had the unlimited pass, and it was probably, now I know it was Jacqueline and Elle. It wasn't actually ever you, but
I just want to tag along.
it was just, it's so funny how the golf community is like that, with all the people that play golf in Arizona, and I'm sure it's the same across the country, but really it's one of the biggest little communities you'll see. Everyone does know each other in a way.
Absolutely. And I would say that, your mom's looking down and she's so proud of you guys, and to see all three of you still have a strong connection in the game of golf, in the community of golf. It's been truly amazing. And, we're going to come back and talk more about how you were selected to head it up, the youth program too. But, I'm so proud of you. You and your sisters.
You.
I talked to Jacqueline this morning before he came up. Your mom did an amazing job.
You're going to make me cry now.
So Ryan, you have had a wonderful career through various roles in the golf business. We had met about a year ago. You were the membership sales director at Seville, and I met you. Immediately thought you're an awesome guy. We formed a friendship. You now help us on the marketing side. You're a realtor, but getting to know you a little bit more and more. You chose a life in golf, right? And your dad was recently sick and passed about a month ago, and you shared a lot about it, and learning more about how your father, through his sacrifice and commitment, led you to the game of golf, which then led to a career where you have a beautiful wife and family, and so it's pretty neat. So why don't you share your story?
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks again for having me up here. I don't know if I can do it as well as Janai. I probably won't last to the very end for one half of a tier like you did, but my dad introduced me to the game of golf when I was 10 years old. I do remember the day where he asked me to go to the driving range with him. I loved the game. I loved being there with him. After playing golf, it seemed like all my friends were playing golf. Summers included, even though it was 120 degrees some days in Phoenix. Literally putting my bag, which they didn't have the cool bags that the backpack bags that Ping introduced when I was 15. When I was 10, it was a tiny little bag, and we put it on the bike and ride 1.5 miles to the golf course, spend literally all day there, and come home. I still talk to all the guys that I played golf with when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, through high school. Pretty much every week, thanks to social media, making it easy to talk to people, but or communicate without picking up the phone and having a 30-minute conversation. But I played high school golf, JGAA events, and my dad and my mom would travel with me and sacrifice so much by taking time out of their day to go, whether it was to Prescott or wherever it was, for short little trips, weekends, and took time and money out of their day and days and weekends to go support me. I played a little bit in college, not well, but I did pay for a couple of years of school, I guess, that way, so well enough for that. But got into golf as far as a career, and 20 some years later, I'm sitting here talking to you about my dad and how it really formed my life, friends, family, and I'm blessed enough to be able to go to Dobson Ranch and hang out with Drew and you guys, trying to tell the story, your guys' amazing story at Dobson, which is totally unique. A lot of most golf courses, I don't know of another one that is doing what you guys are doing. Very, very cool. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And then, it's amazing too, because, as you get older and the memories and things too, did you ever, at what age did you start to beat your dad on the golf course? He was a pretty good player?
My dad was pretty decent. Yeah. Probably 14 or 15. I was competing with him pretty well.
Very good. Yeah. A lot of good memories, I'm sure, right?
A lot of great memories. His last few days, last year of his life, he would go out to the little putting green at the home he was at and putt until he couldn't get out there. So I'm totally blessed that he introduced me. I mean, everything of my life, kind of a lot of great memories. So
absolutely. You know, I've only known you for about a year, like I said, but you're very good in the real estate. You're very, very talented on the marketing side and videography and photography. So you had other options, right? And how much do you think that your dad introducing you to golf helped you pursue a career in golf, right? Because you were a director of sales, you were director on the public side, and then you went to the private side. And you know, what type of an influence did that have when it came to choosing a profession?
I mean, probably everything introduced me to golf. I just liked being around the golf course. The people were great. Like Janai was saying, the values that a lot of the most golfers have, is great. And the weather is not too bad here in Arizona, so you're outside enjoying great weather. And I studied finance at Arizona State. I thought I wanted to do something I wanted to be on Wall Street, not necessarily on Wall Street, but something to do with finance. And golf gathered me up, and thankfully somebody gave me a chance to have a decent career.
Based on how long you stayed at each property, you obviously did a great job. So congratulations on that too. And you said something that I've never really thought much of, but the friendships you formed too, even at a young age. My closest friends were the ones I grew up playing golf with, and I dragged them into it because back when we were growing up, not these guys, back when we were growing up, it wasn't exactly the cool sport to play. I mean, you were not getting any, the cutest girl in the school because you were the number one ranked on the golf team. Yeah, you were getting thrown in a garbage can, you know what I mean?
I remember the day where the football team invited me to sit at the football the cool kid table.
Oh, wow, nice.
He made it.
They announced that I made it to state as a sophomore as an individual, and they said, "Hey, come on over here." I was like, "I'm sitting with the golf dudes."
Yeah. Well, you grew up in Arizona. We grew up in Wisconsin, so maybe that was different. But then again, you might not have been a smart aleck like Mikey and I, so that might have been part of the reason for the swirlies.
I wasn't big enough or tough enough.
Hey, you know what? In your defense, though, better a smart ass than a dumbass.
Exactly. Yeah, no doubt. Well, we might be a little bit of both, but no, Ryan. Yeah, thanks for sharing your story too. I mean, and I can say this: that golf brought you to us, and it's just one more reason why I'm extremely grateful. It's that. I think about my greatest friendships and, everything, and it's really been formed, and it's been a blessing through the game of golf. So, and there's more great days to come too. And we've talked a lot about the loss of our fathers, and it's hard, it just doesn't go away, but a lot of great memories. That's
Absolutely.
What keeps it together. So, Drew, so yours is a little different, right?
Yeah.
But it's still very special and very unique. Drew, you lost your dad at a very, very young age, but, and even though you're like a son to me now, you shared a story how much golf meant to your dad and kind of how you got into it. So
I'm not even going to get into my story before I start.
I got to sleep for you.
Mine. My dad, I lost him when I was about 4, and never really talked about it either. That's probably why it's so hard. But second.
Yeah.
Finally, somebody with emotion.
No, I know.
See, I'm an empathetic crier, so I want to start crying.
I know, right?
Good job, Drew.
Yeah.
I know. Seeing you guys hold it back already got me on the edge. But no, I mean, from everything that I'd heard, he played all the time. He was a good golfer. He'd went and he'd be one of the guys like we see at Dobson playing in the Skins games, all that stuff. He pretty much lived there. And my 2 older brothers worked at golf courses. I mean, I don't even really remember it, but that was when they had to watch me. I would be there hitting balls at them while they're in the picker. All the servers in the restaurant knew who I was, knew that I liked my grilled cheese sandwiches and stuff like that. So I always played as a kid. I had a plastic set of clubs. I'd hit rocks and stuff like that in the backyard. But it was probably one of the first sports that I gave up. I always tell people basketball was definitely first. I couldn't choose a hand to shoot with. I was kind of ambidextrous. So that sport went. And then golf was second, mostly because baseball was my other primary sport. So I got to the point where swing coach on each side said, pick one. They don't go well together. And to this day, I still think there's a lot of bull to that. An athlete's an athlete, I think. But I think not having him around is probably why I picked baseball, because I didn't really have anyone to go play golf with, and it's fine, because baseball was really good to me too for as long. And then I found out I didn't really have the passion for it. But, golf was something I picked back up as a hobby. I talked about it when I was in college, because still to this day, I already had a really good group of friends in college, and we all played other sports, and golf was the one thing we hadn't ever really tried. So for all of us, it was a new thing, in our early 20s, late teens, to go out and learn and sort of grow even closer as friends together. And, a lot like they both mentioned, coming out to Dobson and taking on this opportunity in the golf business is, it's been pretty special, because, it's a connection I feel like I never really had. But now I do. So, it's cool.
I still think I never met your dad, but I know your mom, one of the sweetest, most amazing people I've ever met. And she did a great job. Obviously, you and your brothers are great guys. And as much as I got to know you, that my guess is that if your dad, I think you getting back into golf, right? Because you had a good job, right? You didn't need a job. And when we recruited you to come to Dobson, whether it was subliminal or not, I think that maybe your dad's love for the game and that might have helped lead you to Dobson.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, you've done a great job, and we're so happy to have you as our part of our family and the Paradigm family. And, and I got to say something about Drew. When it comes about playing, because he has a lot of videos that he definitely is talks about his lack of maybe scoring well or skills.
Yeah.
If you use the equation that we use at Paradigm when it comes to evaluating how good somebody is, I think Drew's very good, right? He's only been playing about a year, really, with any type of seriousness. And you don't really practice. You got the Janai bug, which means you don't play, and you actually swing at it really good, and you get better every day. And
for sure,
I appreciate you play fast, and you don't really care. So
no, I am not looking for golf balls. That's for sure. If I hit it in a rough and I can't find it, I don't care if it's still in bounds or anything. I'm not looking. I'm the opposite of Mikey. I almost aim to lose every golf ball.
Well, Mikey, I played about 1,000 rounds of golf, and the most amazing thing I can say about Mikey is that he's never lost a golf ball in a match with me.
That is fair enough.
Never.
Yeah, if y'all need a caddy out there, man, I'm one of the best 4 caddies you can get. Not only can you find it, but you'll be able to bust a 3-wood out of whatever lie it is.
That's very true. I've seen him do that. He hit it in areas where the FBI couldn't find the golf ball. And then not only does he find it when everybody walks away, but then he advances at 260 yards.
Perfect lie, right?
So, 3 amazing stories. One's that, it's a tribute to golf. It's a tribute to parents. And, it builds so much gratitude. And, as you get older and the more you realize it. And, Mikey, do you want me to start? Or our stories run pretty parallel, but you haven't had a chance to speak. So why don't you roll?
Thank you, Joey. And, my childhood was unbelievable. Youngest of 5, came out as almost an oops. 9 years behind JoJo and 5 years behind my sister Soupy. But it was pretty awesome because our entire family was into golf, and just those car rides to the country club and to golf tournament with the old pops, just sharing that little bit of wisdom. I wish at that time, I guess you could. I could have picked up on all that wisdom that he was sharing, but like Pops always said, one of his favorite terms was you can't screw an old man's head on that kid, So he understood, and he was very encouraging, a couple of times too, where we didn't play so hot and we were real disappointed in ourselves. The encouragement that Pops did was just saying, hey, you know what? You played good today, you just didn't score that well, and you'll get it back. That encouragement was pretty awesome. And the pride, too, that Dad had in us is pretty awesome, man. It was so authentic to just know that we were just young kids, man, just growing up and getting on that first tee, and the amount of confidence that it took to get up on that tee. Because when you play golf, you're all alone. You don't have teammates. You don't have coaches there to carry you along if you're having a bad day. You got to just put your head down and actually grind through it. And so it takes a lot of confidence for a young person like that to get up on that tee, which Dad always respected and encouraged and kind of nurtured along, which was amazing. And just to be able to grow up around all the guys there at Rivermore, I mean, as like an 11-year-old kid, dude, just soaking it all in around, grown men. Oh my goodness. And my mother probably wasn't so proud of some of the times I came home and some, words slipped out of my mouth that 11-year-olds shouldn't share. She probably was appalled a bit, but that's what happens when you do that. But Pops, he was so proud, man. I'll never forget that Thanksgiving just most recently. We were at Hub's place, my brother-in-law, Hub Goyen, who is, one of the first national champions from UNLV, played on the mini circuits and some PGA Tour events. He was number one in Arizona. You probably, some of you may be familiar, Hub Goyen. Anyway, Dad was sitting and talking to Hub's dad about how proud he was of all of us being Racine County champions and junior masters champions in these little podunk counties in Wisconsin and that, where there was like a field of 12, and we were champions, and we were looking there in his trophy cases. He was first team All-American with like Keith Clearwater and Kurt Triplett and Phil Mickelson and stuff. And, we just nudged each other with a giggle on us like, God, listen to Pops, man. It was just unbelievable. So the couple of things that I still carry with me that Dad always taught me was semper paratus, to be always prepared and pack a duffel bag. You never know, and it saved my butt a lot of times. You know what? You'd get out there, and before you know it, you'd have a front come in, and the wind would be blowing, and it'd be colder than hell, and I'd be the only one out there with rain pants and a pullover. So Pops, he had taught us so much. And the best thing, too, that golf, that Dad taught us was that golf is going to be a bridge in life. Whether we played on the PGA Tour or if it was just a skill that we carried through our life, it was a bridge, because when you get to talking about golf with a fellow person that loves golf, you know what? Especially in this political climate and religion, politics, your bank account, what you drive, doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's all about the best golf courses you played, the best rounds of golf you played, the hole-in-ones that you've had. And so all of it's out the window when you can kind of talk about golf, and it's really a bridge to a lot of things in life. And it paved a way. My brother, superintendent at Tapatio. My sister owns one of the top cart rental golf agencies and leasing agencies in the Southwest. My brother Joey and I are business partners now with multiple golf courses in the country. And we did a lot of this all with incredibly limited credentials. I don't want to say skills, because Pops taught us really amazing
Yeah,
skills,
that right.
but
And skill.
a total limited amount of credentials, probably least of anybody we know when it comes to actual background and education and credentials, right? So what Pops had just taught us throughout this journey of life, man. And, I am incredibly sad about losing him on January 23rd, but I'm incredibly blessed to just hear of all my friends that reached out to me that didn't have a family unit like we had that was very, very unique, but just reached out to me and said, Mikey D, I just want to send my condolences and let you know I love you and how grateful I am for your dad and your family, because it's a big reason of why I am and who I am today. And it was just awesome. Pops was the ultimate gamer when it came to the 80-yard range we had in our backyard, to stick ball, to even that black walnut tree. It's the simple things in life that are just amazing, dude. And Dad was a gamer. He set it up from the basketball hoop to all kinds of stuff. And he set it up so that he just watched us have an unbelievable time with our friends in the community out there. I mean, he loved it. And he did all of this without ever having a dad himself. I mean, the legacy that our father leaves behind is unbelievable. So if you look at it and the story has to be written, and you wouldn't change anything about the story, I would say is a pretty amazing life. So thank you for letting me share. But more importantly, if you're a dad, if you're a mom out there and you're looking to get your young one into golf and involved, I can't speak loudly enough as far as being a young woman, a young gentleman. It's an honest integrity, builds your character game that you can find out a lot about somebody just in a round of golf. Are they hotheads? Are they cool? Do they cheat? Are they honest? Do they play fast? Are they meticulous? Do they have to look at everything, or do they just drop and rip it? So you can tell a lot about somebody around a golf, and it's a great thing. So thanks for letting me share. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mikey.
Thank you, Mikey. A couple things, though, just to correct. When he says we were going to the country club, I want to tell you that we were very blessed, but it was the Muni. It was Browns Lake, you know what I mean? And the other part, too, is that I loved when he shared the part about being prepared. Pops, that was a big thing for him. But the only reason he had any rain gear or anything is my mother actually made sure it was in there because there was no chance Mikey was going to remember it, as we know by the show. Obviously, Mikey just shared about Pops, and I'm just going to look at it from just a little bit different angle. Our father didn't have to be a good dad. Terrible upbringing. And as he took us through, he sacrificed a lot. He didn't ever play golf. I'd never seen him hit a ball. He caddied for us. We always had good gear. We always had nice things. And to compete, my dad said, if you're going to compete, you're going to get every opportunity to be the best you can. And even though that he was viewed maybe as kind of a hard ass, and he really wasn't, because he was encouraging, when we didn't win or whatever, but he was always there for us, I can tell you that. And he didn't have to be. And, when I look at through our life and look back, like Mikey shared, and this isn't trying to be cute, or it's really just the truth, is that I was a terrible student. I hated school. Mikey was probably the only worse student than me. And my brother Mark was definitely got no scholarships from Harvard or anything like that. But, our father, by introducing us to golf, we had to learn all the things we had to talk to. And the good thing about him is he pushed us right in the middle of situations that we had no choice. And we had to go ask people, hey, can I join you? Or can I get in the skins game? You know what I mean? And he taught us how to hustle and communicate and get us out of our comfort zones. And I think that the skills that we learned there was amazing, and it was the greatest education we could have. And as the more and more we fell in love with just being at a golf course, and it wasn't just about playing, that's what pushed us to get jobs when we were 15, 16 years old. And, and everybody, even my kids now, the ones that are older at times, and, you meet people, even older people, and they say, God, I got to go to work today. This sucks. You know what I mean? I can honestly say I've never regretted a day of work in my life. I mean, to be around, such amazing people and just the game itself, and to be outside and to control your own destiny. And it's just amazing too. And, and through, our dad, and our mom too have taken us to the tournaments. Our dad, I was a smart ass as a kid, and I could tell you, when I went to a golf course, I definitely was not going to be one. My dad, after the tournament, we went and thanked the pro, we thanked the people that put it on, and if we ever threw a club, if we ever talked smack to an adult, it was going to be a tough night. You know what I mean? It was not. So you took a couple of knuckleheads, and through it, we learned discipline, and we learned it. And when we got through all of this, you really look back, and it really created a wonderful life for myself and Mikey and Mark and Sue, and even though Steve doesn't play, he still likes to be part of it. And we have an extended family now. I mean, all you guys, everybody within our company, I have formed so many amazing friendships. And the people I met, because I got into the golf business, and my dad taught me how to hustle and the importance of communicating. I got to meet Bill Walters, 20 some years ago, and he's still like a mentor to me. And he, helped my career, and also helped develop me as a person. So I just think that if you're playing golf now, and I'll never forget it. His name was George Sarian. Didn't even know him that well. But I was at Rivermore, one of the public golf courses in town that we'd play, and I looked at him. I was probably 15 years old, and I said, "Yeah." He asked about whether I could work or something like that, because I had a job there at the time. And he said, and I said, "No, I can't. I have to go play." And he goes, "You don't have to go play. You get to go play." And you realize how it's such a luxury, and it's so special where that you look back and it's just been amazing. So as we went through all of this, and we thought about this for a long time, even while Pops was sick, and when you get older, you reflect. So really where all this is leading to too is that how do we give back? There's a lot of kids out there that really need a lot of help. And there's kids that don't have the parents that we had. So we're going to take a short break, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do with the Pops and Junior Golf Program. And then we'll share some final thoughts. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the Golf Biz. So real quick, Mikey, I noticed that you turned your hat forward. What's up there, brother?
Well, since we were sharing all the wonderful things of our fathers, one of the last things Dad shared with me was that the podcast was great, but I looked like a dipshit with my hat on backwards. So if it wasn't for his hairstyle that I had adopted, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have to wear a hat at all. But thank you, Pops, and we love you.
Absolutely. So it was amazing hearing everybody's story, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to, kind of share our vision about how we can help, right? At Dobson Ranch, right in Mesa, Arizona, the golf course is owned by the city, but we have a contract on it, and it's been an amazing blessing. And we've learned a lot about the community. We all live out here, and there's a lot of kids that don't have the opportunities and the parents that we did. And, we really want to give back and to introduce it, because I don't know where I would be with, I made a lot of bad decisions, but, the game of golf and my father and dragging us back into the game has been the main difference. So we have started and we've launched the Pops and Junior Youth Golf Program. And then Pops is Mikey and I's father. Junior is Hub Goyen Jr. It's my brother-in-law. His father, Hub Goyen Jr., an amazing man, a longtime PGA golf professional out here in Arizona. Not only were his kids prodigies and some of the best amateur golfers in the world at the time, he dedicated his life to bringing kids to the game of golf. He was a believer, an amazing man. I only had the opportunity to meet him 5-6 times, but every time, and just reading and understanding about his history and what he sacrificed and gave to the game of golf, and the juniors was really amazing. So we started this program, and when we were looking at somebody, Hub's busy. He and my sister own Action Golf Carts. We're busy, but the truth is both of us are very disorganized. So we had to find somebody that could go ahead and head this thing up. So we knew Janai was amazing. We knew she had a great attitude, but at that time I didn't really know much about your childhood. But when you shared it, and when I brought up the opportunity, you were excited. So just tell us a little bit about the program.
Yeah, so we just recently started this, probably like about a month ago or so is when I started kind of working on this. But basically the whole goal of this program is to be able to introduce the game of golf to kids that don't have the opportunity or the exposure to get into it themselves. And that's what's beautiful. And in Mesa, Arizona, there's a lot of those kids. Specifically, we've worked with some kids that are in foster care or just kids that don't have the money to get into golf. And it's beautiful to see that, golf is not something that is just reserved for people that have money. It's not like that. And that's what we're providing the opportunity for them for. And that's what I think is amazing. And like we all shared, golf has had such an impact in our lives, and I can't wait to be able to bring that to other kids' lives. If that's one kid that decides to go play collegiate golf, that's a win. If that's just one kid that just enjoys being out of the house for a little bit, that's the thing they look forward to every week, every month, whatever that is, that's a win. We're just here to change lives, and I think we're going to make a huge impact with what we're doing in these kids' lives, and I'm really excited for what we're bringing to them, because we're giving them the opportunity without having the cost of all of that. So I know that there's a few pieces involved that you'll talk about probably of what we're going to be able to provide for these kids. And so like parents or group home owners or foster parents, whatever that is, they don't have to worry about, I can't afford to pay for this for my kids, you know, and that's really, I think, a blessing. So.
Absolutely. And, just when it comes to discipline and an outlet and somewhere for kids to go, and, at Dobson, we've been blessed. We have one of the largest ranges, but, part of Pops' legacy was a storage unit full of 25,000 golf clubs.
Wasn't it 3 storage units?
Yes, it was. In fairness, if anybody out there saying that I'm exaggerating, which I can do at times, I don't think I am, Drew.
I still have some pictures from like 2 or 3 years ago before we had even moved out here that you sent. I'll get them to them so we can put it in the video. People can actually see the storage units with the clubs and the rafters and you're walking through them.
So those clubs have been moved to Dobson Ranch. We have a club fitting system, or to fit the kids, and we've actually started to build a lot of great relationships, like she said, with kids organizations, and it doesn't have to be where they're just broke or single moms, whatever, but there's kids just looking for things to do. And we're going to offer them golf lessons. We have the clubs that they can take home with them. They can come back as our guest. We're going to feed them. We're going to play games. And we're going to breathe a little bit of joy and hope into them. And even if they come out and they want to work, right? One of the foster care from the group homes that we had out, some of the most sweet, beautiful kids I've ever seen. And, you know, one of them's coming back, Drew, this weekend for a job. And, you know, that kid himself, if he could just join the team and just love, you know, being around it, and he could find a career in it. Because, you know, a lot of kids aren't academic and you know, it's not their thing, which was for me too. So I think that's going to be a big part of it. We're going to do some fundraising. And, you know, between Dobson Ranch and Action Golf Carts, 100% of anything that we raise is going to go help kids. And it's not going to be just to bring them into the game of golf, whether it's scholarship them for the Hot Lunch program, whether it's actually scholarship for college, a trade school, or doing other things. So we're going to have a lot of different things to do it. And, you know, Ryan, you grew up in Mesa, you know, and out here. And, you know, when I don't know what it was like when you were going to high school, your golf team, but, you know, the 4 schools that actually practice at Dobson, they can't even field. These are huge schools. They can't even field a girls' golf team. Meaning they can't even get 5 kids to come out for it. We need to change that.
Yeah.
What was how many kids played back then? Just curious. On your golf team, was it a large?
Well, there were
turnout?
tryouts for my high school for the guys, but for the ladies, I think they were recruiting pretty heavily so I could fill that van to get ladies to the golf course. So that's pretty inspiring to hear what this program's going to do.
Yeah,
Foundation's going to do.
Absolutely, and I think that you know, part of the thing, like you shared with Dobson, and thank you for the kind words, and you also play a huge part in that, is that, you know, golf has to be more inclusive. It has to be more fun. It has to be focused about enjoyment rather than just the pure tradition of the game. So that's part of this whole program too. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. And hey, if these kids come on out, and maybe they don't love golf, but they, you know, love just hanging out and hanging with Janai, and you can, you know, we'll get some people to help them with their homework, whatever it is. Just, you know.
That's Drew's job.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you did good in college.
I finished school.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. I mean.
I finished.
I got good grades.
Yeah. Okay.
Albeit I was the kid that I spent way more time trying to figure out how not to do my homework. If I would have just shut up and done it, it would have been like half the effort.
Yeah, but you did good in school, so you're now the chancellor of the
I'm in.
Dobson Junior Youth Golf Program. You're the educator.
I'm the dean. I'll take it.
You can be the dean. Yeah. We don't want you teaching them golf.
No. I'll teach them other things, not golf. We'll do science. We'll do tech. We can do computers. I'll do a computer class for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if there's any listeners out there too that, you know, they don't live in Mesa, Arizona, but they have kids or they know kids that would like some golf clubs, they're absolutely complimentary. We'll box them up. We'll send them right to you. Anybody here locally that does have kids that want to come on out, we have various nights. We're going to have programs, and we're going to make sure everybody has a great time. They're going to, you know, and the ones that want to advance more, we're going to have more advanced classes. And, you know, we're just going to roll this thing out, right, Janai? And we're going to go with the flow. But the only goal is to go ahead and just give an opportunity to some kids to have a laugh, have a great time, and maybe find a career.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mike, any final
Swing hard
words
in
out there
case
in
you hit
Florida?
it. And Joey, I really am so excited about what you do and what the Dobson Ranch is doing with the foundation. And we can't wait to bring it here to West Palm, here at the Palm Beach National, man, the place to be. Because there's young people out there all over that are just looking for an opportunity and an introduction to the game and a pathway to a lifetime forever. Did I screw that up? The slogan, Joey?
Well, yeah,
Nailed
that's
it.
okay.
No.
You did, but anyway, that's okay. That's okay. I would expect
Hey, it
nothing
sounded
less.
good to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, Ryan, thank you for being on the show. God bless you.
Yeah,
Your
thanks for
father,
having me.
Drew,
Thank you, guys.
You too, Janai.
Thank you so much.
I love all your parents. Love you, Pops.
Love you guys.
We'll talk to you soon. See you next week.
From the T to the green, at the P to the B. Skip the plumb bob, drop the plumb bob, lose the plumb bob. Who needs a plumb bob? From the T to the green, at the P to the B. Skip the plumb